Hey Adam, we're here in Boardman, Ohio, just outside of Youngstown. Now this banquet hall is playing host to Senate hopeful Congressman Tim Ryan and his camp as they await polling numbers to start coming in as the polls close in the state of Ohio at around 7:30. Now Congressman Ryan has been crisscrossing the state the last number of days, making that pitch to that exhausted majority of voters across the state, that mix of Democrats, Republicans, and independents. Hey, Rich and Jamie, good evening to you both. First arrived here on scene, we could see one home clearly fully involved with flames coming out of the top through the roof. Rich, it's still a very active scene out here. We're here on Bantam Ridge Road in Wintersville, and joining me here now is Chief Harrington of the Wintersville Fire Department. Chief, you said you had a very important message that you want to get out to the community. Hey, Dylan, Congressman Ryan joined on the campaign trail today in Steubenville by Senator Sherrod Brown. This is Ryan makes that final pitch to voters with the election just a week away. Taking a look at the Real Clear Politics average, it takes an average of all polling data that is available. J.D. Vance has a slim lead over Tim Ryan. J.D. Vance 48%, Tim Ryan 44.7%. This is both men craft that final argument to voters with the most important numbers coming in next Tuesday night. Hey, Rich and Kate, good evening again to you both. Traffic, want to get right to that. Traffic is backed up all the way down Veterans Memorial Bridge as far as we can see coming in from West Virginia back into Ohio. We begin tonight with breaking news as a juvenile is dead following what authorities are calling an accidental shooting in St. Clairsville. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Madden. Let's go right out to News 9's Taylor Farmer, who was at the scene and now joins us live from the St. Clairsville Police Department. Taylor. Three presidents converging on the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in the final days of campaign 2022. It's our top story tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Madden. The country's two most prominent Democrats were trying to drum up support for Pennsylvania gubernatorial candidate Josh Shapiro and senatorial candidate John Fetterman. A bombshell revelation at this week's Wintersville Council meeting as it was announced that former Mayor Robert Martin is currently under investigation by the Ohio Attorney General's office. The request that former Mayor Martin made of the village and the village's response, will have that coming up. Hey, Dylan, Congressman Ryan joined on the campaign trail today in Steubenville by Senator Sherrod Brown. This is Ryan makes that final pitch to voters with the election just a week away.
I'm running for places like Steubenville. Let people here know they're not going to be forgotten. I'm going to fight like hell for them.
Congressman Tim Ryan was introduced by Senator Brown at the event in Jefferson County. They both spoke about the pro-worker agenda they would take on as a team if Ryan was elected to the Senate. Ryan, currently on a bus tour crisscrossing the state, he said it was important to stop in Steubenville.
Do you feel that maybe this time of year that some candidates, other candidates might look past Steubenville, forget about them, maybe take them for granted in certain instances?
I think Vance certainly has. I mean, he's not really been here. I've been here, you know, I came 10 times, I mean, in the last year and a half, because I care about the people here. And I know that's not always the cool thing to say, but I do. I got in this business to help the people of Youngstown and the people of Steubenville.
Ryan spoke about being a major proponent of the natural gas industry and worked to get provisions in the recently passed Inflation Reduction Act to help that industry. He also wants to work to streamline the permitting process to pump more natural gas.
He clearly understands what's happened to Steubenville, the lost jobs, the ignoring from state government and from the federal government.
This is both candidates in the race to fill the seat that will be vacated by retiring Senator Rob Portman craft their final argument in the campaign's final days.
This contrast is so clear. If you want a pro-worker senator to join me in Washington, you vote for Tim Ryan.
What's happened to our communities has been devastating for the last 30 or 40 years. I will take on Democrats. I will take on Republicans. I'll take on anybody who's messing with the Steubenvilles of the world, and I have no bones about that.
Now, this is not the first time that these two men have been on the campaign trail together as Senator Brown endorsed Ryan's bid for the Senate outside of the Steubenville Fire Department last October. Reporting in Steubenville, I'm Tyler Madden for News 9. Major progress has been made in getting Still Street their new water lines.
This is wonderful, just wonderful. My neighbors, they're standing over here. They just can't believe it either. Nobody can believe it.
Been listening to it all day because we've tried not to go down to interfere with them.
A welcome sound for residents of Still Street as a construction crew began work on water lines at the bottom of their road. Just last week, we first brought you the story of Burla and Lonnie Williams and their neighbors. Burla and Lonnie have lived on Still Street since 1979 and reached out to News 9 after getting word that they were taken out of New Cumberland's $3.5 million water system improvements due to lack of funding. After years of struggling with water pressure that made everyday tasks a hassle, a story that was also brought to Hancock County Commissioner Jeff Davis.
Immediately called the mayor's office to find out what was happening there, and he shared the same story. They just had to cut it out of the project. And I said, could we be of any assistance if the commission would agree to it?
The commission did approve and stepped up to partner with the city for the project totaling around $80,000. The commission putting up $40,000 and New Cumberland using part of their $240,000 in American Rescue Plan funds to cover the other part. All of this taking place in the span of 6 days.
It's like it was a whirlwind. Next thing we knew, they said, "You're not going to believe this. You're going to get water lines." I said, "No, this isn't going to happen. This can't be." But it is, and we have you to thank. I'm telling you, if you hadn't come up here, I really think it's because of WTOV. I really do. Finally, a solution in sight for their years-long problem, with the Still Street neighborhood still feeling like it's too good to be true. When it happens, I'm going to have to pinch myself because I'm not going to believe that I'm going to actually have water flowing in these lines. I mean, I'm going to have pressure. I'm going to have pressure so we can take a shower, flush the commode at the same time, wash dishes, wash clothes.
Now, when I spoke with New Cumberland Mayor Will White on the phone, he tells me this project is still in the planning phases, so when the neighbors can feel the effects of the new water lines is still being discussed. Reporting in Hancock County for News 9, I'm Tyler Madden. Hey, Rich, Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost said it was important to visit the Cross Ridge landfill this afternoon as his office is still involved in litigation pertaining to the site.
I'm very troubled by what I saw.
Signs up and down the road leading to the Cross Ridge landfill site underscoring the long-standing tension over the site in the community. Attorney General Yost joined by officials from the Jefferson County Health Department on a tour of that site.
We want to get your reaction to what you just saw on the tour that you were just on.
I'm amazed that this has been pending for so long and hasn't gotten cleaned up. There's an area on the backside where you can actually see the leachate. I mean, it looks like some kind of a horror movie.
We were not permitted to go on the tour as it is private property, but there were a number of different areas on the site highlighted on the tour, including those problem areas that have caused so many concerns for residents.
Whether it's open dumping, leachate in the waterways, that's all vitally important environmental issues that need addressed, and he has seen them himself firsthand now.
It's red and oily, and it's coming off of there, and looks like it's heading down the creek into the river.
The AG's office still involved in litigation that could determine how the site moves forward.
Just speak to the importance of why you traveled to Steubenville today to see it for yourself here.
Well, this has been going on for so long. You keep on kicking the can down the road, and it's our can that's getting kicked. This has gone on long enough. We've got a hearing on the 21st of June. I wanted to see this for myself, and I'm directing my staff to do everything in their power to move this thing forward. But I want everybody to know that the local folks that have been working so hard on this for so many years have got a partner in the state. We want to get this completed and cleaned up.
Again, Attorney General Yost says there is a hearing involving the landfill on June 21st. Stick with News 9 as we will bring you any updates as they become available. Reporting for News 9, I'm Tyler Madden. Attorney General David Yost says his office is closely involved in pending litigation over the future of the Cross Ridge landfill site in Jefferson County. I first spoke with him on the issue when he traveled to the site for a tour a few months ago.
There's an area on the backside where you can actually see the leachate. I mean, it looks like some kind of a horror movie.
That's Attorney General David Yost reacting to what he saw at the Cross Ridge landfill following a tour of the site back in May, prior to a hearing on the matter in June. His office still involved in litigation over the future of that site, and I continued that conversation with the Attorney General at his office in downtown Columbus.
After we talked, we had a court hearing. The owners of the landfill have been held in contempt at this point. There's another hearing set for October where the judge will decide what to do about that. This thing's been going on long enough. It's time for us to get to some kind of a solution.
The site's still a constant concern for local health officials that accompanied the Attorney General on his tour. They say how a landfill is shut down is very important for the future of nearby areas.
Post-closure care at a landfill is vitally important to the residents surrounding that landfill, and in this case at Crossroads, those who live downstream from a landfill.
Henry says things including air and ground pollution levels need to be constantly monitored at the site. Those concerned heighten as the site sits.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done, so the longer that property basically sits idle, for lack of a better term, the longer we're going to have to deal with the environmental concerns. Our biggest concern is getting those environmental issues that are there today addressed.
New signs now line the road near the site, highlighting neighbors' long-standing concerns. Working towards that solution, we hear very frequently from neighbors in that area about their concerns. What's your message to those residents that are constantly voicing those concerns about that landfill?
Well, we hear you, and we're concerned about what's leaching out of that place. We're on the case, and we're not going to give up until we're done. We're hopeful that in October we make some progress forward.
We reached out to the lawyers representing the owners of the site but have not heard back. We will keep you updated on this case as any new details emerge leading up to the October hearing date. Reporting in studio, I'm Tyler Madden for News 9.